So this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. It's going to be on the live action comic account, so I'll be sharing that as well. So, but let's start out with some...
who won the giveaway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about who won the giveaway. We're going to talk about the next contest for you. Very excited about that. Hey, treasures, welcome back. So...
That's Dad.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Todd's dad. So,
Hey, Dad.
Let's talk the bummer news first. We lost some people this week.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sad. Nelson Ellis died. He played Lafayette Reynolds in True Blood. He was 39 years old.
That's so sad.
He died of heart failure, heart complications. So really sad. And he was beloved by everybody. His character in the book series dies like really early on, but they loved him so much.
They kept him.
He kept him on, so it's really cool. So.
He was actually, that was a really interesting character.
Yeah.
I really liked
He was awesome in it.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Joan Lee.
Thanks for all the hearts, guys.
Oh, yeah, he was really talented.
Yeah, he was.
Joan Lee, Stan Lee's wife, she passed away at the age of 93.
Yeah.
So that's really sad. So we're sending out our positive thoughts
they were
for all
together
the
for
families.
70 years, guys.
Yeah, just short. 69 years married. Like, not even together, like married.
So they probably knew each other
amazing.
for a couple
it seems like they're probably like high school sweethearts-ish.
Yeah.
Early
20s. Let me tell you a story about Stanley real quick. I went with my attorney. I had a meeting, like just a regular lunch meeting with the attorney. We were signing some contracts for like a movie deal we were trying to get done. And I walk up to, the front of the restaurant, and this is when I pretty much first moved to LA, so I saw Stan Lee sitting there, and when you see somebody and something clicks in your head, and you know them, but you don't know who they are, or, and this was before I started the comic stuff. So anyway, I go up, and the attorney introduces me to him, and I, say, really nice to meet you, and he's like, hi, I'm Stan, and I asked my attorney afterwards, I was like, who is that guy? He's like, that was Stan Lee. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that. But he was...
Yeah, I think he did.
He emanated class. Mm-hmm. He was just one of the coolest people that I've ever met. The other guy being Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, really nice.
Leonard Nimoy was same thing, just class acts across the board. I mean...
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's kind of funny to, in hindsight, that I have a comic book company.
Right.
That I didn't know who Stan Lee was.
I mean, I'm sure it would probably hit you later.
Sometimes when you see people, I knew that I knew the guy, but
because part of you is like, well, there's no way I'd actually run into them. So there's that denial where it's like, that's probably not them.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the third, of course, it comes in threes. Yeah. The third person who died was David Udall. He was a sound editor and teacher who had a long career in films, doing sound editing for Escape from New York, The Thing, Twilight Zone, the movie, and The Fifth Element. So he died. He was 66. So also really young, I mean, it's really sad. So now that we have the bummer stuff out of the way and our, thoughts are with all of their families and friends, because it has to be a really tough time for all of them. Right. Now let's get on to happier stuff. Yeah. So let's talk some nerd news here. All right. So fresh off the boat, star Randall Park has come aboard the Ant-Man and Wasp movie that comes out next year. I couldn't find out where, who he's going to play, but that's pretty exciting.
It's breaking
Very
news.
Cool. Yes. What's up, Kara? Welcome to both here and Periscope for the first time. Very cool. Nice. So this was treated as like exciting headline that was a bummer for me, but Samuel Jackson is reprising his role in Captain Marvel. Which is cool, because I love the dude, and he's awesome as Nick Fury, but it really bothered me when it's like, spoilers on the person from Marvel that's gonna be in Captain Marvel. So you're like, sweet, that's awesome. And then you're like, oh, you mean the guy that's in all of the Marvel movies? Like, that's not a shock.
He's been in every single one, right?
So to tease in the title and then have it be like something that you just assume he was going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
It's like at Christmas time when you open a present from your mom and it sucks.
Yeah. Socks are
like
underwear.
Yeah, you're like, oh great, I'm so glad that I unwrapped a present of this stuff that you buy me when
Thanks,
I need
Mom.
it. Thanks for the socks and underpants. Now where's the good presents?
Where's the good present?
Exactly. John Carpenter is working with Sci-Fi, developing a series, Tales for a Halloween Night, that's based on his graphic novel anthology of horror stories. He's also working with Sci-Fi to develop Nightside, which I had never heard of, but it's based on a literary series by Simon R. Green, with the writer from the Scream TV series attached to write that. No one's been attached because he's just developing it for his Tales for Halloween Night, so they don't know what that is quite yet. So,
oh, that's true. He wasn't in Doctor Strange.
He wasn't, but he's been in practically all of the others. That's a very good
call.
But that is a good call.
Definitely.
Hey, welcome from Phoenix. Thank you so much for joining us. Phoenix. Very, very cool. So, Microsoft... Yeah, thank you. So, Microsoft is about to slash an estimated 3,000 jobs, mostly from sales and customer support operations outside of the U.S., and they're saying it's because they're shifting their focus to cloud business operation. But, I mean, Microsoft was, like, huge. You know, it's Bill Gates and everything. And so the fact that they're, especially with sales and customer support, which are, like, the most... I mean, sales? Like, that's how you generate revenue. That doesn't bode well
sound good,
if you're dropping 3,000 jobs.
Yeah.
So...
That does not sound good.
I'd say expect to hear more news from Microsoft.
Yeah,
probably not that great stuff under restructuring.
Right.
So, but that's just obviously speculation. But that, once again, if you're firing salespeople, that's not a good sign. If you're eliminating the job entirely...
Or customer service, that's...
Yeah. Yeah, online is taking over, but sales is like, that's the thing that runs a business.
And that's true, mainly they're losing their jobs. That's,
yeah, it's really sad. So we have a very interesting bit of casting here. So, unfortunately, Laura Benanti, who played Kara's mom in Supergirl, in like the flashbacks and stuff, unfortunately, she's been there since the pilot. Unfortunately, she's no longer going to be in the show because... she had some commitments in New York, but who's going to be reprising her role in a recurring role is Erica Durance from Smallville, which, if you remember that name, she was Lois Lane in Smallville. So that's kind of cool. They had Terry Hatcher this past season, and now they're going to have... So we had Lois Lane from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, which is an awesome show back in the day, and now they're going to have Lois Lane of Smallville as a recurring character in the new season. So that's... I like casting stuff like that because I'm a nerd. Like, I loved, what's his name, who played Zod in the old Superman was... Oh, God. He played Kal-El's dad, the voice, in the Smallville series. So I love when they do that stuff. It's very cool. So, now, Freeform has a new pilot that they've greenlit for The Misfits, which it revolves around a group of young offenders in a community service program who develop supernatural... Thank you, Terrence Stamp.
Nice, yes. Good call.
Yes, Kneel Before Zod. Terrence Stamp was Zor-El. Kal-El's dad. Hey, what's going on? Welcome. So The Misfits revolves around a group of young, like, offenders in a community service program who develop supernatural powers after being hit by a mysterious electric storm. And so, who's been cast in it so far? Dave Foley from News Radio and from Kids in the Hall, which awesome sketch group. And Charlie Saxton, who was in Hung. They're going to be series regulars, but once again, it's a pilot, so it's not necessarily a series yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want to see Freeform really wants to see what's at. But I like they're stepping up their superhero game. They have Cloak and Dagger, which is a Marvel series, and that looks really cool. So a little bit more Comic-Con news. Comic-Con's happening in a couple months, so a little bit extra here. So for Warner Brothers, you have Justice League, Aquaman, Blade Runner 2049, Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One are all going to be part of Warner Brothers Hall H Saturday extravaganza. Basically.
You should go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, Comic-Con is awesome and it's pretty overwhelming. So I'd say start with maybe like Stan Lee's Kamikaze
Yeah, Kamikaze a little smaller.
It's pretty cool. Or WonderCon in Anaheim, as I went this year, and that was pretty awesome.
But Comic-Con's
very
an
overwhelming.
experience.
It really is.
It's not
sensory
just a
overload.
convention. It's an experience and stuff.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool. You should definitely go.
So composers are set. There's going to be a superhero music panel, and the composers from Black Panther, Logan, and Cloak and Dagger are going to be there this year. For premium cable, Outlander is returning this year, and Twin Peaks is coming this year, so that's exciting for Twin Peaks fan. The new revival has been getting a lot of love. Charlize Theron or Theron. I never know. How do you say her name? I don't know. Charlize. Let's just do that, okay? We're on a first name basis. Yeah. It's all good. You know. My sea girl. You know, we're besties.
Did you see my mug? They're commenting my mug.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
So she is going to take center place in Entertainment Weekly's Women Who Kick Ass panel. So that's, she's going to be there for Atomic Blonde. It looks
that one
awesome.
looks good.
It looks pretty cool. It's like the female John Wick.
I like the name of that too.
Atomic Blonde.
I was kind of pissed I didn't come up with that.
That's awesome. So, and get this, people, fellow nerds who are probably super excited about this. So the creator and cast of Sci-Fi's Battlestar Galactica are reuniting again for this Comic-Con. Confirmed to attend so far, Ron Moore, the creator, as well as the cast members Trisha Helfer, Katie Sackhoff, Mary McDonnell, and Grace Park, who, if you watched our episode last week, she's one of them that left Hawaii Five-0 because they couldn't come up with salary agreements, which isn't a great situation to talk about. It's very uncomfortable, and there's been a lot of drama this year, but because we talk news and not drama, moving on. Okay. So another kind of remake or reimagining that was a movie that's coming to TV is Heathers. Is actually going to be on the Paramount Network next year. Selma Blair has signed on for a recurring role. So not a series regular, but recurring. Which is kind of interesting. Old, from 1988.
Right,
yeah, it's crazy.
That's nuts.
So it's going to be a pitch black comedy anthology set in present day. Yeah. So when they say anthology, that usually means each season is a standalone story. Yeah. Like Fargo or American Horror Story.
Right.
So they're planning on doing that with Heathers. Yeah,
kind of interesting. Yeah.
Non-committal because you don't have to see every season, and you know it's going to be finite.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be ended. But then you end up kind of wanting to watch the next series. So it's kind of like you don't have to commit to it, but you kind of want to if you like it. Like I love Fargo.
Yeah.
Nick, I have no idea how to say his last name. I apologize. I'm going to murder it, so I'm also going to spell it out. But Nick Pesce. It's really bad. Pesce.
Yeah.
Not sure what that is.
It's almost close to Pisces.
Yeah. I am not live anymore.
You're not?
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
Are we back?
Are we back? Oh,
It's frozen.
Oh.
All right, we are live again.
Guys, we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, so sadly technology failed us. So we're going to...
It happens.
Welcome back, Treasures, a.k.a. Todd's dad.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. Hello again, Marion. Actually, I don't know if you were on before, but hey, Vicious and Alex. So we're going to kind of get started here. We had technical difficulties. So, hi, Kate.
Technology is great when it actually works.
So, yeah, exactly. So, hey, Mannix, welcome back. So awesome. So we're going to kind of pick up where we left off. Which we don't have very much for technically the part one, the weekly nerd news. We don't have a lot for this because we did a lot of it in the first one.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump straight into it. So check that out. It'll be on my page. It'll be on Todd's, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll just share
So he's just kind of sharing stuff. So, once again, before I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm also going to spell it just in case because I feel really badly. But Nicholas Pesce, Pesce, he was the director of the critically acclaimed Sundance film from last year, The Eyes of My Mother. He, awesome. We're going to talk about Spider-Man, so I'm excited. So, all right. So he has been set to rewrite and direct the Grudge reboot. So for Ghost House Pictures. So if you remember the Grudge with Was that Sarah Michelle Gellar? I think was in that.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's a reboot of a remake because it was a Japanese film, which was then remade. I
saw
here.
the actual Japanese version.
It's interesting,
yeah,
right?
It's good,
yeah, it was way better than the American one with the.
Oh, I know.
I'm not. Little Japanese kids don't creep me out as much as they do America, apparently, because I wasn't creeped out at all by that.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's going to be directing and rewriting that. Now, Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige, while promoting the Spider-Man movie, he has revealed some interesting information. So in 2019, the fourth Avengers movie, they haven't said what the title is going to be, comes out. Mm-hmm. It comes out in May 4th. So, but Kevin Feige said that is going to, hey, Detroit, what's up?
What's up, Detroit?
Yeah, I have a couple new tattoos, so I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but the answer is probably yes. So,
do you like mine?
Yeah, his tan.
I have none. I just have a really good tan.
He just has a really good tan going on. Yes, the Japanese version was better. But Kevin Feige said, and this is huge news, he says Avengers 4 is the end of their 22-movie arc. So that's the end of a chapter. The new chapter starts 2 months later in July when the second Spider-Man...
It's a little red. I was just out on the beach all day. It's a little red.
So in 2 months later, after Avengers 4, is when the second Spider-Man movie comes out. That's supposed to be the new start for the next Marvel story arc. But yes, so that is the end. So Avengers 4... is the culmination of the 22 movies. It's going to have a hard reset with the second Spider-Man movie, and then it's going to start another one, which makes sense, because if they're fighting Thanos, it's really hard to top that. So it's good to kind of start up and then build to another big, sweeping epic.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that's, speaking of bye-bye Captain America, after Avengers 4, he's done. He said he's not going to sign up for any more of them, and actually a lot of their contracts are going to be up after Avengers 4. So we'll see. It's going to be a hard reset. New characters, some returning, like Black Panther and Captain Marvel. They're just starting their run. Mm-hmm. But that's really big news.
Yeah.
All right, it's the summer, so when it comes to the renew, cancel information, we don't usually have a lot, but because of streaming and stuff, we've had news. Mm-hmm. But normally this is kind of like the quiet summer months because broadcast season is over with. They've already scheduled their new season.
Yeah.
So the only thing that was renewed this week is Castlevania, the animated series on Netflix. And it was renewed for a second season a day after the first season premiered. So they must have been pretty happy with those numbers.
Yeah, it must have been decent.
So, like I said, we really don't have a lot going on. So since we covered all of it in the first one, so we are not brothers. We're brothers from another mother.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how we're brothers. So, now we're on to the box office weekend. And now remember, we've said it before, Mondays is when the actuals come in. So these are the Sunday numbers. So there's going to be some adjustment. They kind of go off of industry trends, things that's not always accurate, but it's relatively close. So tomorrow might be a little bit different, but the order of these is pretty much going to be the same. So coming in at number 1, Spider-Man Homecoming, with $117 million. This is not only the second best opening weekend for the Spider-Man franchise, it's the second best opening for Sony total. The number 1 spot was Spider-Man 3 when it opened at 151.
And you didn't see that yet, did you?
Oh, I did.
Oh, you did?
I saw it on Monday.
I was surprised.
On Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I went right away. IMAX 3D. Mm-hmm. It is the Spider-Man movie I've been waiting my whole life. I want it to be a surprise for this. It is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. This is the one I've been waiting for. It was incredible. The cast was perfect. Script was amazing. It was clever. Yeah. Highly recommend it. Actually, of all the Marvel Studios films, this is my favorite.
Really? Wow.
For the longest time, it was Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is phenomenal.
Better than Deadpool?
Deadpool is Fox. That's not Marvel Studios.
Well,
I'm talking the MCU.
Yeah.
So in the MCU, but I would say better than Deadpool. But Deadpool is phenomenal. Oh, yeah. Wow. So highly recommend it. I'm for sure seeing it a second time.
I'm surprised.
It's amazing. So I loved it. It's I was just giddy the whole time. It was amazing. And for sure, in case you didn't already know this, which if you didn't, shame on you, stay till the very end because there's always stuff at the end. And no, Wonder Woman is DC, so different universe completely. Coming in at number number 2 was the second weekend for Despicable Me 3. That yes, Spider-Man: Homecoming was amazing, the best, phenomenal. Maybe it's so far my favorite movie from this year. Highly recommend it. So Despicable Me 3 came in at $34 million. It was down 53% from last week, which is by no means terrible. It's made for about $80 million. They tend to, Illumination tends to be pretty respectable, and it already in 2 weeks domestically has banked $149.1 million. So it's doing fine. I don't think it's pacing as high as Despicable Me 2, and it's way not doing as well as Minions, but it's doing really well. It's making its money. It's good. They're happy. Internationally doing great. Yay, Gru. Coming in at number 3 is Baby Driver with $12.75 million and only dropped 38%, which is really good.
I think I'm going to see that this Saturday.
Yeah, that movie is getting, everyone's loving it.
Yeah.
Everyone is loving it.
A lot of good things
about it. The total cum is $56.9 million in 2 weeks. Everybody's really happy about that. The studio's even talking, hey, how's it going? Janine, I think is what that said. Or Jeannie. Jenny? I apologize. Jenny? I totally butchered it. Yeah. So, I hear Baby Driver is great. But the studio and Edgar Wright are already talking potential sequel. The Great Wall, issues with that. So, coming in at number 4 and actually switched order. So, one dropped a little bit far and one kind of went up a little bit. They switched spots. Wonder Woman came in at number 4 with $10.1 million, only down 35%. This movie is holding really well.
It is, yeah.
It's doing really well. I'm assuming repeat business because it's just really just holding on.
I'm going to see it again.
So its total cum right now is $368.8 million. It's one of the top grossing films of this year so far. Aquaman doesn't come out until about a year, so we're not going to be really talking about that except for casting news anytime soon. And coming in at number 5 is Justice League is later on this year, so we'll for sure stick around because for sure we're going to be talking about that. So Transformers The Last Night came in at number 5 with $6.3 million, dropped pretty steep 63% in its third weekend.
Vanessa.
Hi, Princess Vanessa. And with the cum of $118.9 million, it's falling way behind from the other movies of the Transformers domestically, but internationally it's doing phenomenal. It's making its money. Paramount's like, I can't win them all, I guess, but we're making a ton of money overseas. And normally we only do the top 5, but we sometimes have notable things. And the notable this week is The Big Sick, came in at number 8. Now that's kind of like this, indie rom-com that's unconventional, but yet familiar, doing really well. Critics really like it. What's phenomenal about this is it came in 8th place this weekend, and it was only in 326 theaters.
Right.
Which everything else is like 1,000 to 3,000.
Well, like I said last week, I went to see it, and it was the first viewing was sold out.
And you loved it, right?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great. It was fantastic.
It's averaging.
Go see that.
It's averaging per screen $11,000 per screen average. That's phenomenal.
If you go, the screen it will be packed.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your tickets in advance.
It made $3.65 million, which is up 121% from last week.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have mascots in here.
Mascots.
And a total
dogs that are.
And a total of $6.9 million for the 3 weeks it's been out in limited release. So The Big Sick is like, guys, shut up.
There's 2.
We apologize. So The Big Sick.
Guys, be quiet.
It's doing great. It's the indie darling. Sorry, we have 2 dogs here. So.
So this is kind of my fault. Because earlier I said, nothing really has gone wrong in our broadcast.
Yeah, that was his fault. Before we started this, Jet,
shush.
Before we started this broadcast, can you go take care of that dog?
No.
Before we started this broadcast.
Oh my God, that's okay.
Before we started this broadcast, Todd was like, you know what? We haven't had any issues doing this. And guess what? Now, not only did our router go down, but now we have dogs that won't
I actually have no idea how it's back up because there is no buttons on it.
Yeah.
It is just straight flat, no lights on the front of it, but it's working right now. So I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, they're very opinionated. So anyway,
we'll let them have their opinion.
We're gonna let them do this thing. Yeah. We're done with this. So we are gonna go to part 2. So stick around. Very shortly, we're gonna be switching over to the live action comics Twitter and everything, and we'll be sharing that in the Periscope as well.
Right.
So we're gonna get on that. So stick around. We're gonna kind of reset, and then we'll see you guys here in a little bit.
See you in a second. Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of SuperCast. If we don't have any more technical difficulties, we'll be fine. Basically today on this part, we want to talk about the winner of the giveaway. We reached our goal of 100 followers on YouTube this week.
Yay! We went
that's good.
Way over.
Yeah, we went way over, which... If you guys play with YouTube, if you can't change your username until you hit 100 followers, which I think that was a new change since Google acquired them. So anyway, you can't do that until that happens. And once I changed it, we got 30 or 40 new followers right after that.
Yeah, so now if you just do youtube.com/live action comics, you can find us that way. Super simple.
It's a little easier to search for it.
Thanks, Jake. Good. Yeah.
Thanks, Jake. So the winner is, we figured out through those followers, Bobby Witcher.
Awesome. Congratulations,
Bobby. So
you are receiving a care package of comics as well as a signed poster for Element X.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yep. So, also...
thanks, Swan.
Yeah.
So I just said congrats.
Oh, cool. All right. So, also, we got some questions about if we had any ability to donate to our... to live action comics and to the whole, YouTube page and stuff like that. And honestly, we never really thought about any type of donations, but I had a few people ask me. They didn't want product on the website. I think they literally just wanted to
support the show.
Yeah, they just wanted to support, which, I mean, I think that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
We really appreciate that.
This is a labor of love for us, and, we provide it to you guys for free because, we're really enjoying this interaction and kind of exposing you to the world of live action comics. So we really appreciate the support that you guys have given us.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, we're going to put a little donate button underneath all the free stuff, basically. We'll probably just say, buy us a cup of coffee or something like that.
So if you'd like to donate, that would be awesome.
If you want to, do it. If not, we still would love for you to download the free stuff.
And we're going to turn it around for, cool new prizes and different things and fun stuff for us to, create in the live-action comics world to then show you guys. So you're being a part of what we're creating. And it's really exciting. So we appreciate it. And
also, with that being said, it's we have 2 free comics on the store. If you go to free items, it has 2 Element X Volume 1 and a fan art piece that we did with just 11 pages is also on there for free. And I really want you guys to download that one as well. It gives you a little more chance to see the special effects and all the different things we can do, because in the first issue of Element X that you guys have already seen, the Kyle Ambrose has not really shown a lot of his powers, so we didn't really put a lot of special effects in it, right? So, but this one's kind of shows you a little bit of the special effects that we do in it, and kind of gives you a better idea about the whole live action comics process. And that's what this whole thing is all about, is showing you guys what this process is and get you guys informed and educated on it. So, go to the store. You don't have to put the promo code in anymore.
Yeah, you don't need a promo code.
We just took that out. It's just $0. It doesn't, discount or anything, because you can't discount $0.
Right.
So just close out and bam, you get it. You get it downloaded right from the page, and you can have it as a PDF right there. So that's pretty much it. Do you have anything?
No, I just thank you guys so much for helping us hit that goal. Our next goal for our next care package is 250 followers on YouTube. I mean, we're already our goal was 100. We were, I think, 12 down last week from it, and we overshot it by 34. So, I mean, already you almost, it's just, that's really good. I mean, so we really appreciate it. We want to keep the ball rolling. We want to keep sending you guys care packages of free, cool stuff. Thank you guys for being a part of this journey. We will be back next week with more weekly nerd news, as well as new updates on live action comics. So make sure to follow me on Twitter, the Noah Kinsey, as well as Instagram and Facebook, all the Noah Kinsey. And then we have the same name. Yeah, we have Todd Christian here with your.
My personal is I'm Todd Christian on Twitter,
and on Instagram it's Todd Christian.
Todd Christian on Instagram.
Right back at you, Christy.
Yeah, in Live Action Comic on Twitter, Live Action Comics on Instagram. Twitter didn't allow us to have one more character, which
Twitter
sucks.
Yeah.
I really want to know if they're ever going to add characters once they develop more people
probably
within
not.
it.
I have a feeling they're going to stick
I wish they
with.
would, because I'm upset about that little S.
Yeah. So just stay tuned, and we appreciate the support so far. Definitely, follow, subscribe on YouTube, and
download the free comics. There's just free stuff right now, so
thanks, Abby.
Element X2 will be next week.
Yep, we'll talk about that next week as well.
We're putting that up. We'll give you the actual release date of that. So that's going to be called Evolution, Element X Evolution. So that'll be the next one of Element X, the beginning, the first issue. So that's number 2. So that we'll talk to you guys about that when we're going to release number 2 next week, next Sunday. On Supercast.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a nice night. And thank you, by the way, there's a lot of you who are sharing these videos, and that really means a lot to us, so we want to thank you for that. So, all right, everyone, have a great...
and thanks for sticking with us while we had
thanks
our
for the
technical problems,
difficulty.
So the router just went out.
Oh, thanks, Marion.
So thanks a lot. We really appreciate all your love and your hearts and your shares and your subscribes.
Your
everything.
heart, the literal hearts, not
these little hearts
your hearts in here. But I mean, we appreciate that too, but we just like you as friends.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Have a great night. So
thanks a lot,
goodbye, guys. Bye, Kate.